Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to discuss about Vasuki, king of serpents. Vasuki, Sanskrit, Vasuki, is the second king of the Nagas in Hinduism. He is described as having a gem called Nagamani, serpent's ornament, on his head. Shesha, the first king of the Nagas and the bed on which Vishnu rests, is his elder brother, and Manasa, another Naga, is his sister. In Hindu iconography, he is generally depicted coiling around the neck of Shiva, who is believed to have blessed and worn him as an ornament. He is known in Chinese and Japanese mythology as being one of the 8 great dragon kings, Chinese Bada Longwang, Japanese, Hashidai Yuo, amongst Nanda, Nagaraja, Upananda, Sagara, Shakara, Takshaka, Balavan, Anavatapta, and Utpala. Legend. Vasuki is one of the sons of the sage Kashyapa and Kadru. He is accorded a significant role in the legend of Samudra Manthana. He is described to have allowed both the Devas and the Asuras to bind him to Mount Mandara, so that they could use him as their churning rope to extract the Amrita from the ocean of milk. In the Mahabharata, Vasuki is stated to have been cursed by Kadru. He refused to aid her in her scheme of hanging to the tail of the divine horse Uchchaishravas with his other siblings to cause it to appear black, so that she could cheat in her wager against her sister Vinita. Condemned to burn with numerous brothers in King Janamjaya's snake sacrifice, he sought refuge with the Devas, participating in the churning of the ocean. Having retreated to the netherworld, but wishing to save his brothers from the snake sacrifice, Vasuki sought the counsel of his siblings. One of them, Alapatra, stated that he had overheard Brahma informing the other deities that the son born to their sister named Jaratkaru and a sage who shared the same name would be their savior. Vasuki made the arrangements to marry his sister to the sage. The son born to them, Astika, was able to successfully put an end to Janamjaya's persecution of the Nagas. According to the Puranas, the serpent king became the string of Shiva's bow, which he used to destroy the 3 towns known as Tripuradahana. He is also revered throughout all Naga Pujas, particularly Nag Panchami. He is known as the serpent king with 1,000 heads. Vasuki is said to live in the palace of Varuna, the sea god, according to the Mahabharata. The Samudra Manthan and Vasuki. In Hindu Puranas, Samudra Manthan or the churning of the ocean is a significant event, and snake Vasuki, the Naga ruler, had a key role in it. Following Sri Hari Vishnu's directions, the Devas, demigods, and demons, Asuras, began preparing for the churning of the cosmic ocean in order to collect Amrit, the nectar, that would make them eternal. The Mandara mountain was chosen as the axle, but they were unable to locate a rope that would allow them to circumnavigate the massive mountain. As a result, the Devas and Asuras sought Vasuki, who consented to act as the churning rope. Vasuki's head was held by the Asuras, and his tail was held by the Devas. Vasuki and Garuda's pride. According to one interesting myth about the Samudra Manthan, Garuda was sent to invite Vasuki to the churning of the water. Despite the fact that Garuda was the snake's arch-rival, he decided to invite Vasuki. Vasuki was not appropriately honored by Garuda, who ordered him to engage in the ocean churning. Vasuki lived in the palace of Varuna, the sea god. Vasuki requested that Garuda transport him to the location as soon as possible. Garuda consented to transport him on the back of his beak. Garuda flew up into the sky with Vasuki's center section, while the tail and head remained on the ground. Garuda then folded the enormous snake in half and flew into the sky, but the outcome remained the same. Vasuki was too heavy for Garuda to handle, so he returned with him. Finally, Shiva extended his arm into the water, and Vasuki transformed into a Bengal and arrived at the Samudra Manthan. According to the Matsya Purana, Lord Shiva should be adorned with snakes when depicted. The majority of current images of Shiva only show a single snake around his neck. Another common depiction is the 5-headed snake that frames a shadow over Shivling. Symbolism. Symbolism surrounding Vasuki Naga is pretty popular and well known. In Hinduism, he is one of the supreme snakes or Nagas and is worshipped on Naga Panchami. The 3 coils of Vasuki represent the 3 states of time and reality. In addition, Lord Shiva is all-powerful, invincible, and fearless because he is the master of snakes. With Vasuki around his neck, Lord Mahesh has implied that he cannot be discouraged by any adversity. As we all know, snakes are the most dangerous reptiles ever to exist, and the fact that they are ruled by Lord Shiva states that he is the most powerful. All the myths surrounding Vasuki and Lord Shiva say the same thing. Mahadev is a benevolent deity who would do anything to protect his devotees and anyone who was suffering. Although it is essential to look at the symbolism behind their pure relationship, it is all the more important to pay attention to how this beautiful companionship came into being. As per the scriptures of Bhagavat Purana and Vishnu Purana, after a massive fight between Devatas under the leadership of Indra and Asuras under the command of Bali, Devatas lost badly. After the suggestion of Lord Vishnu, Devatas formed an alliance of peace with Asuras for a distinct reason. That was Samudra Manthan, the churning of the ocean of milk to release to find the Amrit, nectar of immortality. The two battling sides decided to divide into opposing teams, pulling at Vasuki wrapped around Mount Mandara as a coil. Amongst the many things that were churning out, there came the fatal, halahal, poison. Moreover, a lethal substance so powerful it has the ability to kill the entire creation of the universe. To stop it from spreading, Lord Shiva consumed the poison as he was the only one strong enough to do it. People say that Devi Parvati placed her hand to stop it in his throat. Even though in agony, Shiva could keep the poison in his throat and survived. Seeing this, Lord Vasuki and his devoted subject snakes were moved. To show their solidarity and love for Shiva, they drank the poison with him. So, this pleased Shiva a lot, and to honor their dedication, he blessed the Lord of Snakes and wore him as a necklace. Moreover, the story further states that it is then that Vasuki took the pledge not to let the poison spread beyond the neck of the Lord of Destruction and helped stop it at his throat. Vasuki Naga was suffering from the intense and lethal effects of the poison he had consumed during the churning of the ocean of milk. Vasuki arrived at Lord Shiva's feet and begged him to relieve him of this pain. Lord Shiva took pity on Vasuki and gave his blessings to be the snake lord. Following this, Vasuki was safe and was no longer feeling any pain. Since then, Vasuki has pledged his undying allegiance or loyalty to Mahadev. Moreover, it is also believed that Vasuki had a wife. Vasuki's snake wife name was Shatashirsha. Spiritual significance. There are two important interpretations of the Lord Shiva snake, Vasuki, around Lord Shiva's neck. The first is that of Kundalini energy, or spiritual energy found in humans, which arises from the base chakra, Muladhar, to the seventh chakra, Sahasrara. Moreover, the yogi form with the snake around the neck denotes that the Kundalini has risen along the throat chakra, Vishuddha, and continues its path. In addition, there are images of the multi-faced serpent fanning the head of the Lord, which represents that the Kundalini has risen all the way to the seventh chakra through heavenly guidance. The second important interpretation is regarding the three coils of the snake. Furthermore, these three coils each represent the past, present and future. It denotes that the yogi is free of all concepts of time and its associated bonds, like death and passing. This is what makes Shiva the ultimate yogi. Snake is also a symbol of passions and desires. In Christianity, the serpent misleads Adam and Eve into eating an apple, and this leads to committing a sin. Thus, by wearing a serpent around the neck of Lord Shiva conveys a message to all the devotees that overcoming of passions and desires is possible if one works on his, her willpower and tries to search happiness in oneself and rather than searching it outside.